Hello everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening whenever you're seeing this. I just wanted to talk with you guys today. I wanted to do like an education type video, kind of switch it up a little bit. I wanted to talk with you all about something called spiritual hygiene. So I know some of you are looking at me like, Ashley, what the heck is spiritual hygiene? So just like we have hygiene for our bodies, for our spaces, just like we do all of these care tasks for our body, for our hygiene, there are certain things we can be doing for ourselves for spiritual hygiene. And this is not something that is new in the world of spirituality, whatever you want to call this. Lots of different religions throughout all of time have had different sort of spiritual hygiene practices that they do. I don't want to make it sound as though we're implying that, we're dirty. Spiritual hygiene leans more towards a self-care aspect. So let's go ahead and take a minute and talk about what are some things that we can do to support our spiritual hygiene. One of the things that we can do as a spiritual hygiene practice is to implement routines. A routine for spiritual hygiene could be something along the lines of cleaning your house to remove stagnant energy. You can use all sorts of different tools to cleanse your space. Some people use bells or singing bowls to cleanse their space with sound. And you don't have to go out and buy a cleansing bowl or crystal bowls to do this. You can actually just go onto YouTube and you can search crystal cleansing bowl sounds and play them in your house. And that can help cleanse your space with sound. You can also cleanse your space again with smoke. You can take your incense and you can walk around your house and smoke cleanse your space. It doesn't have to be incense. If you have some herbs that you would like to burn as well too. I actually make homemade smoke cleansing wands just from herbs that I have in my garden. And that's one way to tie yourself into your spiritual cleansing practice. If you already have an herb garden that you tend to, that you love, you can use herbs straight from your herb garden. You can use all sorts of different herbs. Just make sure that you double check that they're safe for burning, and that if you have pets, that you do not smoke cleanse in a very enclosed space. When you're smoke cleansing, it's important to be safe. So, of course, make sure that you keep some sort of container or bowl around with you to catch any falling ash so you don't burn your house down. And that if you have very sensitive pets, I do not recommend smoke cleansing in an enclosed space with pets, especially birds. I know birds are extremely, extremely sensitive to smoke, so please do not smoke cleanse if you have birds. If you are smoke cleansing, what you need to do is you need to have some doors or windows open for clear airflow in your house. If you have your windows closed, where's that bad energy gonna go? It's gonna stay in your house. So you have to have some windows. You guys can't see it on camera right now, but I actually have a window open and I also have my door open over here. And I open both of those when I'm smoke cleansing in here. I do not keep my pets in this space. My pets are outside the room so that way they are not inhaling the smoke. So just make sure when you're smoke cleansing that you're safe about it. If you grow your own herbs, you can use herbs like your common garden sage. You can use lavender, rosemary. You can use all sorts of different herbs. If you have flowers like roses, cleanse your space with them. You want to dry these herbs first. Really, you can get creative. You can make them any way that you would like to. Maybe I'll do a video on that sometime for you guys about making your own smoke cleansing wands. Another way that you can cleanse your space as well as yourself is to clean your area. Clutter, garbage, all of these things that can build up in our house, if our space is not clean, we will not feel clean. It's one of the most powerful ways to reset yourself, reset your mind, is to actually just clean your space. And you can do that with the intention of cleansing spiritually. When you're putting soap in your mop bucket, you can choose a soap with like a rosemary essential oil, a lavender, any kind of oil that you want. Just remember to check that it's safe for pets if you do have them. You can use any sort of scented soap that you would like with your intention of cleansing your space. And this is where visualization comes in. While you're cleaning your space, you can visualize moving that negative, stagnant energy out of your house. Some people like to do salt sweeps. I personally don't do this because I don't really like to sweep. But if you do sweep on the regular, something you can do is you can make a salt sweep. So you can take salt granules and put any sort of herb in them. You can put lavender, rosemary, sage, whatever you would like. You can put that in your salt sweep, and then what you do is you pour a little bit on your floor and you sweep it around, and then you sweep it outside your house, and that is supposed to help pull negative, stagnant energy out from your space. There's all sorts of ways that you can cleanse your space in order to help cleanse yourself. All of these spiritual hygiene practices can actually be implemented directly with our regular hygiene habits. You can implement spiritual hygiene practices into your body cleansing routines. A lot of people also will choose to cleanse themselves with smoke. So smoke cleansing, let's talk about smoke cleansing for a second. Smoke cleansing is used in a lot of different cultures and practices. You can use lavender, rosemary, cedar, or you can just use a regular box of incense. Or I have a whole slew of other incense down. So one thing that we can do to clear our energy around us of toxic energy is to get a piece of incense. So this is some incense that I have burning here while I'm talking to you guys. And so all you gotta do is just kind of wave it around your person, kind of like this. You know, you can like kind of bathe yourself in the smoke a little bit if you want. Be careful not to burn yourself. And just kind of, you can even go like this and wave the smoke towards yourself and wash it over your body. And this cleanses your, I guess, your energy field, you know, if you believe in energy fields. So what smoke cleansing does is it cleanses any negative energy from around your physical body that could have clung onto you during your day, going about your life. If you had a bad day at work and you're just feeling really bogged down and negative and like this dark cloud is around your brain, smoke cleansing is a really great way to cleanse yourself of energy when you come back from a place where you might not have felt welcomed, or it might have been a very difficult place for you to go to. Even the doctor's office. If the doctor's office is something that brings you anxiety and puts you in a bad mental space, you might want to try practicing cleansing yourself and see if you can notice a difference in the way that you feel. Take note of how you feel when you come back from those places. Cleanse yourself and then double check and see how you feel. I think a lot of times you'll find that you feel a lot better. So we can even include a spiritual cleansing practice into our body cleansing practices. For example, a lot of people like to include salts or herbs into their shower products. There's a few ways that you can do this. You can choose options for your shampoo, conditioner, and body wash that have spiritual properties. So for example, I like to use a shampoo with rosemary and eucalyptus in it for cleansing properties. Rosemary is for protection, and eucalyptus is also for protection, but it also has a cleansing property to it. And so by having that in my hair care product, I'm able to combine two things together. I'm able to combine my body cleansing routine with a spiritual cleansing routine. You can even do so with body washes. A lot of people really like to take cleansing baths, although I know that that's not accessible for everybody. You can even use those little scented shower pucks. They make these little discs that you put in your shower on the floor that release good smells while you're showering. And those can all be ways to cleanse yourself spiritually and combine it with your body cleansing routine. Some people also like to do what's called charming. So let's say for charming, you have a hairbrush. You brush your hair every day, and when you brush your hair, you have a specific routine that you do it with. Maybe you put on a nice hair oil, you brush your hair through, and when you're doing that, a way that you can make that a spiritual cleansing routine is you can imagine as you're brushing your hair with these oils, that the oil is putting protection on not just your hair, but on your crown chakra at the top here. You can brush your hair and imagine the cleansing and all of the gross, energies, the stagnant things being carried away down your hairbrush and off of your body. When you're washing your body in the shower, you can have a specific body wash that you use for cleansing, spiritual cleansing purposes. And you can imagine as you're washing your body that you're removing all of those negative energies from you, and they're washing off and down the drain and off your body and away from you. Now let's talk about crystals. You can also use crystals as a means of cleansing yourself as well. So, for example, I have a few crystals here that I use. You may or may not have seen them here on my tarot cards that I have right here on my desk. But this is a clear quartz, and this is a piece of selenite, or selenite? Selenite. I'm calling it selenite. And both of these have cleansing properties. One way you can use crystals to cleanse yourself spiritually is you can hold them in your hands while you're meditating. And just imagine this crystal energy, this light being brought into your body. And as you breathe in this light, and you breathe out all of that stagnant, negative energy that you don't want on you. And that brings me to my last tip for you all on spiritual cleansing. And probably one of the best and most foundational pieces that you need to know for spiritual cleansing is visualization. All of these tips without the form of visualization are going to not be as effective. If you're just using your hair wash, your body wash as you normally would, without visualization and intention setting, then it's not going to do as much for you as when you set the intention and you visualize these things. Now, visualization is so important because these crystals, while they will still work if you hold them, they're going to be a lot more effective, a lot more powerful if you actually sit here and close your eyes and visualize them working. Your body wash, your hair care routine for spiritual cleansing is going to be a lot more effective when you visualize these things coming off of you and flowing away from you. Visualization is so important when it comes to your spiritual cleansing practice. So visualization is so important for a spiritual cleansing practice because not only is it the foundation of all of these other methods that we talked about earlier, but it is also one of the ones you can do for free. You don't need anything. You don't need crystals. You don't need a special shampoo and conditioner. Although those things are helpful, you don't need incense. You don't need to go out and buy these things. It's the most accessible form to people who need some form of cleansing. And one way that you can do visualization is by implementing it into your meditation practice. So some people like to, when they're meditating, close their eyes. They visualize breathing in light and letting it fill their bodies. So maybe you take a breath and it just fills a small portion, and then you breathe out on the exhale negative or stagnant energy that you would like to remove. And you can do that for free. You can do that anywhere, anytime. You don't need any special tools. It is the most accessible way for spiritual cleansing for people who may not necessarily have the funds to go out and buy all of these, special things. And that's one thing, is that you can get creative with this. You can start to do your own thing. In fact, I would say it's very important for you to find a way that speaks to you the most. If you're trying body cleansing and it's not working for you the way that you would like, maybe you would like to try another form of cleansing. And I would say the more that you put your own ideas, put your own creativity into it, I would say the more that you put yourself into your spiritual hygiene practices, the better results you're going to get from it. So anyway, thank you for being here with me today. Thanks for listening to all of this. I hope that this was a helpful guide for you. Let me know if you would like me to do a follow-up video on this, or let me know if you have any other questions about building your spiritual practice, building your spiritual hygiene habits. Just go ahead and leave me a comment, and I look forward to talking to you all again soon. And if nobody's told you today, I love you guys.